start until about September 1st because you were practicing for weeks without the student body.
Yeah. Good morning and welcome to Today in L.A. I'm Mike Amos, speaking to you from our studios at Troy Cable on South Grundy Street in Troy, Alabama. And, of course, sitting next to me is a legend, and we got Raymond coming in on the house. Hold on a second minute. We'll bring it on in a minute. Of course, Raymond Ledford just walked in, and we're going to have some good conversation. Raymond, what we'll do, we're going to pull you around, pull that chair on that end. You come right in here, and I'll go down here at the end. Raymond, right there to the left of Bill Rice, Jr. Of course, Raymond Ledford, ladies and gentlemen, is a legend in his own mind. I promise you, he's been that way for a long time. And, of course, we'll have an adjustment in a moment. And Rice, and Raymond, if you can go pretty far left, and let's see how we can get this in and be distant, whatever we call it. But Raymond is here, and had Mike Amos showing up.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Here at Bill Jackson Chevrolet in Troy, we've been doing business the right way for 31 years. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
Been honest in everything we've discussed with them.
When they say Jackson Satisfaction, they really mean it.
The Jackson Satisfaction.
Back to our show, and boy, do we have a full load this morning in a full wishbone set. Alabama comes out in a full wishbone set behind Bill Rice Jr. He's got Raymond Ledford split wide to the left at the running back position, and Mike Amos, the youngster from Grayton Beach, Florida, is the other tailback. Alabama comes out in a full wishbone set. The give is to Raymond Ledford. Ledford to the 10. Ledford to the 5. Touchdown, Troy. Raymond, good to have you, my friend. Yeah. You came out in a full wishbone set this morning, ladies and gentlemen, and Mike Amos is the quarterback. And he'll hand to Bill Rice, and Bill Rice stumbles into the end zone for a touchdown.
You're pretty good, Mike.
Well, little John Forney this morning on a full wishbone set. And of course, you look good, Raymond, as always, my friend.
You're looking good, Coach.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's been cutting hair in Pike County for 44 years.
At his own place.
You know, that's older than Steve Camp.
When school gets out at Christmas, I'll be cutting 60 years.
60 years, that's
1960.
You've been in the same place 44 years.
Yeah, I've been in this building tomorrow. Be 44
and thank
years.
goodness you weren't standing where Pale was supposed to be standing when that truck came through the windshield.
Yeah, Pale he was running late that morning.
Thank goodness Pale was running late. He'd be a dead duck early, wouldn't he?
Yeah, man came by and says, "Oh, Pale's not here. I'll go get a cup of coffee." So he went and got him a cup of coffee. Came back at 5:30. Said, "Pale's still not here. I'll go get me and Pale both a cup of coffee." So he made the turn, but he didn't quite make it sharp enough. He'd pull in the bottom of the driveway, and he caught that corner with the passenger side bumper and knocked that whole side out.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're coming to you from our studios at Troy Cablevision, where we've been doing this show since 1998. Of course, thanks to people like Steve Camp and the great people that helped build Troy Cable into one of the largest cable television systems in this part of the country. And of course, we're getting excited about some things that are happening at Troy University. But we're bringing in, ladies and gentlemen, the godfather of the Alabama Baptist Children's Home, Raymond Ledford. Raymond, and you got to be considered the godfather.
I don't know about that, Mike. You building me up.
Tell us quickly about you, Raymond, and to people on Facebook watching today. Go from the bottom. That little boy that was, they told him to get in the back seat of the car, and you didn't know where they were going to take you.
Oh, I knew where they was taking me, but 1951, Junior 5th, came to Troy, Alabama. Came up Trojan Terrace.
That's right. It was the only way to get here then, yeah.
Hit 3-notch shade trees covered the road. You going down through a shady, shady lane. You take a left up on Elm Street.
Yeah.
And it was still shady. All the elm trees and all the oaks, big oaks, elms.
Yeah, that's right.
They had the road just about covered years in the shade all the way to the Baptist home. Then you got the pecan trees and all that. But I had 2 older brothers there, so Mike asked me, wasn't I afraid? I said, no. My older brother, Charlie, he'd knock you out if he messed with me. But Charlie was a pretty tough fella.
Yeah. And, is he still living?
No, I lost my 2 older brothers, Ronald and Charlie.
But of course, you went to live at the Alabama Baptist Children's Home, and the rest is history.
Oh, yeah.
You became the godfather of the Alabama Baptist Children's Home. You built me up too much, Coach.
Well,
it's the truth.
I tell them I've led a charmed life since I got to Troy, Alabama.
Mm-hmm. How many people lived at the home when you came?
You had 200. About 100 workers and maybe not
kids.
Quite that many, but in all, you had about 100 workers.
And what were the ages? Was there an age? So you
8 to 12. Well, when I got there, they had a baby house, and then they had some babies there, 3 years old.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but now you were there from first grade through the senior in high school. Is that right?
Junior, I moved uptown my senior year.
Yeah, okay, I got
Pale and Johnny Scoggins moved out, and I said, well, Pale graduated in 60, and Johnny graduated in 61. I was graduating in 62, so I moved to town.
Yeah.
Mr. Tom Collier went up and told him, I said, Mr. Tom, I moved uptown with Johnny and Pale. Oh, you can't do that. I said, I've already done it. I carried my stuff up there. he just pushed back. He knew the war was fixing to start, and Raymond was going to lose. But Mr. Tom, he just pushed back, and he says, Raymond, I'm afraid you won't finish high school. I said, oh, yeah. Mr. Tom, I'll go every day of the year. So he told me, he said, I'll tell you what I'll do. You can move up there, but anytime you get ready, midnight, 2 a.m., 9 p.m., whatever, anytime the day or night you want to come back, you'll have your room, your bed in your room. Everything will be just like it was before you left. I said, Mr. Collier, I appreciate that. And I moved uptown, and I went every day of the year. Yeah.
Of course,
Raymond, your senior year, you lived.
In Troy. We lived on the corner there where across from the Alamo.
Yeah, I got you.
And we like I say, I had to come off of a coon hunt to go to school, but I'd take my shower and get to school on time.
Yeah. You know, of course, Raymond and his friends were legendary figures growing up in Troy. Of course, on the Alabama Baptist Children's Home was located where the fraternity row is now.
Yeah.
With all these beautiful girls. Sororities, and they'll have their Squeal Day Saturday, where the girls get their invite into the sororities, and before long, school will be started. In fact, the day on Saturday is the day where everybody comes in and helps move in. Mm-hmm. It's move-in day. All the freshmen are coming into town, and then the Saturday and Sunday. And if you'd like to help out, call housing at Troy University, and they'd say, hey, yeah, we'd love to have you. Mm-hmm. I'm sure to help with some of these kids moving in this weekend. Of course, the sororities are already here, and their pledges are already here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Raymond, of course, goes back into history of Troy, Alabama, growing up. Of course, we talk about the great Bobby Marlowe, who was an All-American at Alabama, one of the greatest players in the history of Alabama. Wouldn't you say, Ryan?
In the history of Alabama, yes.
Yeah, Alabama football.
He averaged about 6 yards per carry in his career, which might still be a record at Alabama.
Yeah. But he was raised out at the Baptist Children's Home, and of course the rest is history. You watched him and Wallace Hogan and
Wallace
and James Carroll and
James Davis.
James Davis, the great James Davis, and of course, grew up there, and of course had a great life. And something that they looked forward to, and Raymond looked forward to, was milking the cows. It was a great honor to go get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go milk the cows before everybody went to school. Is that right?
He milked 18, I milked 17 every morning.
17 cows. It was cold down there, Raymond.
Oh, it didn't matter about that.
And it was early in the morning, Raymond, and you couldn't wait to get down there and milk those cows.
It was our job, but we turned it into play.
You know why you didn't have any girlfriends back then, don't you?
Yeah.
You smell like spoiled milk.
Oh
yeah, you never didn't take a bath. You milked those cows, 18 cows, and they went on and put on a shirt and went to school. And wouldn't you hated to sit next to him? He smelled like sour milk.
And y'all drank that milk.
Oh yeah.
I know it, and he would drink it out of the cow. He would drink the milk out of the cow, ladies and gentlemen. Then he would eat coons, and he'd eat possums.
Does it taste pretty much like milk in the store that once you?
No, it was well back in. We didn't really know what it called.
It was called pasteurization.
We didn't pasteurize ours. It went through the cooler. We had a big cooler.
That's what I'm saying. You got it straight from the cow.
Yeah, we poured it down through that cooler. It was about 8 foot long and about 6 or 6 feet high.
And that's the milk that all the cottages would get.
Oh yeah.
Would you carry it carry it to the cottages?
Yeah, we had galvanized stainless steel cans, and we
y'all
carried
take them to
5
the girls'
gallons.
dorm?
Yeah, we carried it every day.
Raymond, did you?
Twice a day.
You love going over those girls' dorms.
Oh yeah, We'd get to see 2 or 3 of them girls when we go
every
over
morning.
there.
Here Raymond is with the milk.
Breakfast.
Hey, y'all, here Raymond is with the milk. Y'all want to give him a hug or what?
We didn't have time to get a hug. We had to drop it and go.
But and of course, everybody had duties, and and yours was milking the cows and making sure that there was fresh milk on campus every morning.
I got a question. How did you learn to cut hair? How did you get into that business?
Oh, I cut at the Baptist home. Pale was cutting.
Pale was his best friend growing up and his lifelong business partner.
He was, everybody, I had one of our customers, he said, Pale's been cutting my hair 50 years. What's his last name? I said, Face. He was called Pale Face. Franklin Arant, he had polio. Franklin had polio. And him and Pale ran together, best friends, and he was hopping along. Pale named him Hoppy. Hop along Cassidy.
Yeah, exactly.
Then,
he was one of my favorites.
So, Son of Paleface, 1954, John, Bob Hope, and Jane Russell.
That's right. Did you ever kiss that post that, think of that was either Dale Evans or Jane Russell or whatever? Kids say, you didn't have a stick for a horse, did you?
Didn't have one for a horse.
Y'all didn't know. Listen, y'all didn't know. I had
a
good
we
stick.
did.
I had a good stick that I rode all over. You didn't have a stick, did you?
Yeah, he did.
Did you? Everybody had a stick.
Everybody had a horse.
And then there was a post over there. That's where Dale Evans was. And, you know how Roy used to kiss her? We'd pull up that post and kiss her,
Yeah. But Pale, I told the fellow, I said his name, Paleface, and he said, I don't know. I said, he's alias Robert Earl Smith.
That's right. And went on from growing up, not knowing anybody, to him becoming one of your best friends. Of course, Thurman Brightwell and Frankie Nicastro and all those Nicastro boys. And you could get in a fight in a hurry if you wanted to, couldn't you?
Yeah, Ricky Thompson. You could get up a fight.
Ricky Thompson, one of my all-time favorite
Ricky
human beings.
Ricky was tough.
Don't be talking about Ricky Thompson. He's one of my very, very best friends.
Oh, he was my best friend. He led a charmed life too. Just about, James.
They let him work at the flower shop, didn't they?
Yeah.
Jean's Flowers. That's where Randy got started.
Ricky got started.
Yeah.
But we all led a charmed life because every job we had, it wasn't a job to us. We was playing.
But at Christmas time, did you get any presents?
We got presents.
Now, how many boys lived in your cottage?
22.
22 boys, and they had to shower the night before they went to bed, or did that?
We showered every morning.
Y'all did shower, didn't you?
Oh yeah, every morning.
Did y'all have a neighborhood shower?
We had one shower, 16 showered in that one time. But
and when Rice was over there, he said, "Mama, pass me the toast and pass me the bacon." Y'all did the same thing, didn't you?
We didn't have to ask. It was on the table.
Y'all ate well, didn't you?
I'd eat 4 or 5 butter biscuits and syrup.
Did you take the biscuit and put your finger in it like that and then pour the syrup? You didn't do that?
We did mix our butter up with the syrup and then put them biscuits in.
All right, now of course, you had to go milk cows and get the milk, fresh milk across the campus and everything. Don't you know that milk was delicious right out of the can, right out of the cow?
I'm telling you, when it ran down through that cooler, when it hit the bottom of that cooler, we had us a pint jar there. And we'd get a pint of it and drink it, and it was like it'd been in the refrigerator a week.
Now, some people had kitchen
duty. It was that cool.
Some people had kitchen duty.
Yeah.
What time did your cooks come in? Y'all had cooks
They were
come
there
in?
about 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Getting breakfast ready?
Yeah, they started
Did y'all all sit down at the same time and eat breakfast?
You had 2 pans of biscuits this long and that wide. We had a big...
so you didn't go to school hungry, did you?
No.
And then y'all had a bus. I had to walk to school, Raymond, and you had a bus. You had a
had
a blue and a white bus that came out and picked y'all up every morning.
We didn't get the girls rode the bus.
They did?
We ran. When we was going to Cherry Street, we had everybody didn't like us hitting the yard, but we had a path on the yard. We didn't want to step on a crack on the sidewalk, so we ran on the grass.
Exactly.
We had a path like the cows had been walking along there.
And when I go to church on
y'all
Sunday,
already uphill, though. That wasn't a bad walk.
It wasn't.
Not to Cherry Street.
That's right. But, you know,
we ran. We never did stop.
Yeah, they ran to school, yeah. And y'all, I tell you what, man, if you ever got caught by old boys from the home, you in trouble, man. The Curtis Weems and Buster Beach, you ever hear those names?
Oh, yeah, all of them.
Hey, I used to have to fight them every day. Wasn't that something, a good old neighborhood boy having to go fight those boys before they could go to school every morning?
Yeah, we didn't have time to fight. We was too busy getting to school.
But now, and of course, you grew up there and got a great education, and a lot of the kids went on to Howard College, and Stanford University, and but Raymond, you know, I'm sure there was some tough times too, especially during the holidays. Did you always get some presents?
Always. You got several presents. You know, everybody had, you know.
Yeah,
7, 8, or 10.
And so forth.
Oh yeah, they had sponsors.
And always had real good food.
No, it was fine.
I always remember coaching at Charles Henderson High School, and Ricky Thompson and my buddy who later on was killed in action as a sheriff over in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Jerry Bryant.
Jerry Bryant.
And they said, Coach, won't you come eat with us on Thursday? We usually eat steaks on Thursdays. I said, what? I didn't know what a good steak was myself. So me and Coach Tompkins and William Davis and a few other the coaches went over there to eat. So we're sitting around a big old table of rice, and they bring you out. They fried that steak. They put it in a skillet and they fried it and flipped it over a few times, and it was pretty much fried, big old T-bone fried. Mm-hmm. And so we'd eat, and so pass me the potatoes and pass me the bread and whatever. And eating, and boy, I said, Jim, that sure was good. And then a boy walks by and said, Coach, you ready for another one? Hey, I didn't even know what a steak was, and they were eating steak every Thursday. Every Thursday on the home.
He tells these stories, but I tell him I never saw a sirloin, ribeye, or T-bone. We had the country fried steak.
Did you?
It was fine now. Ain't nothing. Yeah. That country fried steak's fine.
Now, on Sundays, did y'all have chicken, or what did y'all have?
Oh, fried chicken. They'd cook a turkey pretty regular.
Did you ever have to wring a neck?
We did.
You did. You said, hey, can I wring the neck? Can I wring the neck?
No,
kids today Mike Amos would have a fit if he had a ring a neck.
I would have a fit. I wouldn't.
Our job too. We had to carry.
I've wrung a neck before.
We'd carry chickens around, and the cook would say, "How about wringing a neck?" We just wring a neck, throw them out there.
But that's my pet hen. You just wring his neck. That was my favorite chicken.
Mike, I tell them now, you know, they closed down in 2002.
Yeah.
But we had a hog pen with, you know,
did you ever have to slop the hog?
I did. That was my first job.
What is it? You know, I've heard it all my life. Slop the hogs.
What
do you do?
We pick up the slop from all the houses and boil it. We had to heat it. You know, boil it before we could feed it to the hogs. That was my first job when I was 13.
If people out there would only...
what the hogs ate.
We fed them corn and everything else.
And listen, a hog would eat anything. Ladies and gentlemen, when you sit down to eat that barbecue and that pork chop, just realize that the animal that produced that great food also would eat anything that you got put in front of them. A hog would.
Yeah, he'd go to the... We'd turn them loose, you know. Our hog pen, they was in the woods too.
Yeah.
So they ate snakes, anything they ran up on.
Well, Raymond, you know, when did you feel like you had to leave and you were gonna run away, Raymond? How long did y'all plan the escape from the prison?
Just about 30 minutes.
How long did y'all plan this getaway?
About 30 minutes. We'd say, let's go. About 4 of us say, let's go. And we took off.
All right. What time of day was it?
At night.
At night. You mean y'all left at night?
At what time we left at night.
How far did you get?
The farthest we ever got was the Crenshaw County line.
That's pretty good way down 29.
Oh, yeah.
10, wasn't it?
That was the farthest.
Were you scared, Raymond?
Oh, no. We was on an adventure.
Did y'all have plenty of money? Did y'all have plenty of money in your pocket?
Didn't have much money. We didn't.
Y'all didn't. What was your plan? We gonna catch the train? What was your plan?
We went one night. We was gonna jump the train over around right there around Standard Chemical.
Yeah.
Chemical Company.
Oh yeah.
We came through there and we was going. We had a spot the train to slow down a little and we could jump on it. And on the way over, I ran off of a cliff, little bank about the size of, about high as this desk. And I landed about 8 or 10 feet out there on my back. We was running wide open. Knocked the breath out of me, and that ended the train ride.
Were you scared, Raymond? Were you scared?
Oh, no, we wasn't afraid of that.
Well, look, let me ask you this now. Once you knew after you ran away and they caught you, you knew when you got back you fit to get your fanny.
Yeah, Mr.
You
Cox,
fit to get your fanny whipped.
Mr. Cox would tighten you up and say, go on down there and take a bath and get to school.
I know, but first of all, though, he told you lined up. Did you have to?
Oh yeah.
Did he tell you to lean over? I mean, he fit to wear your fanny out.
Yeah,
I mean, how many times would he?
Paddle about this long, about that wide, about that thick.
How long was it?
8 or 10 licks. It was.
8 or 10 licks, Raymond.
But I tell them, you know. You see old Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn and all that crowd, they'd stick a book down in there.
Yeah, Raymond, why are your hands, I remember people, you go to school and say, Raymond, why are your hands so beat up? Well, I tried to catch the
you wouldn't do that.
I tried to comfort my fanny and it hit me anyway.
By the time we was 12, we had calluses already built up because we'd get a whipping just about every day, and
would you really?
Every day, just about it.
Oh gosh! Would he bring the paddle with him, or would you have to go to his office?
Mr. Cox, he didn't get us very often. The folks in the houses when we was 8 years old or 12 years old, you was going. Pale was in the Cloud Cottage, and we was in the Scott Cottage, and the big boys you couldn't play on the lawn. A big old boy, 15 years old, you know, he come running for a pass and he run over an 8-year-old, it'd kill him. They'd grab you and beat you a little bit and say, get to that backyard, don't let us see you out here again.
Of course, they taught you a trade, and of course, you and Pale not only grew up together, you worked side by side for all those years. We lost Pale a few years ago. But I tell you something about old Pale. I used to go hunting with these guys. You know, they'd go to Skinno, the hunting club up there. And, you know, I walked in there one day and I said, who's that fellow over in the corner? He said, well, that's Hank Williams, Jr. I said, what? That's Hank Williams? And I went over there and I said, good to see you. My name's Mike Amos. He said, well, tell me when Pale's going to have those biscuits ready.
Yeah.
Hey, a lot of folks, they didn't go up there to hunt. They went up there to eat breakfast.
I'd usually fry the deer steak. We had link sausage, ham. Mr. James Smith, he'd bring some country
Smith.
ham. And Max Price would bring some
Max Price, boy.
Kelly sausage. They'd eat with us. But we hunted about 2,000 acres of Mr. Max Price's land. James Smith and Uncle Gerald Branton and all of them, we'd go around.
In fact, for years, y'all were one of the last people to what we call
the hunt with
dog
drive.
Dog
drive.
drive.
Run dog.
Yeah. You know, the problem with running dogs is, especially my cousin Jerry Renfro, you know, he used to ride to work with me. We worked in Montgomery. And I said, Jerry, why were you so late this morning? He said, well, I was trying to catch my dog. You know, he never came back yesterday from the hunt, and that happened all the time. Yeah, those guys, those dog hunters had to chase down their dogs.
I turned my hounds loose 5 times. I told them, I said, if you'll feed them dogs and take care of them, you go back. Yeah. They'll come get in your truck. I'd tell mine in the morning. I'd say, now, old Slim was my black and tan. He was my main dog. Yeah. I'd tell him every morning. I say, y'all don't worry about it. Y'all gonna get out of that box. Yeah. Y'all will want to get back in before the day's over. I'd go with them. I'd average 5 to 10 miles a day following them dogs, 5 drives. Yeah. I'd turn them loose 5
That's unreal. Times. Well, let me just say this, you know, ladies and gentlemen. You didn't know what you were going to have for breakfast growing up, because if y'all killed something that night, that day, that afternoon, y'all were most of the time wanting to eat it for breakfast.
Squirrels, rabbits, coons.
So you didn't know whether you're going to have good squirrel or rabbits or possums or coons. Would you eat a coon, Raymond?
Oh yeah. Pal could make a coon hash. It wouldn't
wait a minute. Coon.
Coon hash.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And now somebody told me you had. They said, what are those sweet potatoes for? They said, well, it's for that possum. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet potatoes and possum. Did you ever eat that?
And bacon, yeah.
You mean y'all would have it for breakfast?
No, that was a supper meal.
Oh, you'd have it big meal?
Yeah.
And
well, they didn't cook it at the home. We had to get somebody to cook it. Folks miss out.
But what I'm saying, when y'all ate breakfast every morning, though, you didn't know what you were going to get, did you?
Oh, you had 2 slices of bacon, 2 patty sausage. You know, one morning you'd have patty sausage and then bacon one morning.
Yeah, that's right. And then you would fry fish for breakfast, too.
Oh, yeah, we'd fry fish.
But yeah, you grew up, ladies and gentlemen, Raymond grew up at the home, and every chance you get, you would go hunting.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that you've done probably as much as anybody in Pike County since. Nobody loves to hunt and fish more than you do.
Did you move to Troy when you were 8?
8 years
Where'd you move from?
Morris, Alabama.
Where's Morris, Alabama?
About 18 miles above Birmingham. Morris is we lived on this side. We lived right under the mountain there in the old shotgun house. Yeah. You hear these folks talking about you could see the pigs and the chickens under the house through the cracks. We lived in that
after
house.
They took you back after you moved in at the Baptist Children's Home and just a little boy, did you ever see your parents again?
Oh yeah, I saw them.
Did you? Y'all would they let you go visit them and so forth?
Yeah, I'd go 2 weeks and stay with my grandmother in Birmingham.
Good.
Me and Pat Flanagan, we didn't have nowhere to go the first year when I was 8. So go on vacation. We went to Fort Payne, Alabama.
Yeah.
And
that's where the Shirers are from.
I've never been to Fort Payne.
That's probably.
Yeah, I have several times.
Yeah.
That's where Lookout Mountain is.
That's right.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was fine.
And that's what really used to grab me about these kids. How they grew up. Pat Flanagan's been a dentist. Is he a dentist?
Yeah, he was a dentist.
Yeah, he's a dentist. Of course, he was a great little football player, weighed 140 pounds and could whip anybody on the field.
That's right.
He grabbed that pouncey boy and said, "Come here, man."
Yeah, he'd get them ankles every time he'd go under them.
But he was one of they were heroes like Bobby Marlowe and like
Columbus Patman.
The great Wallace Hogan who played with your daddy.
Columbus Patman played with my daddy.
Yeah, Columbus Patman. Yeah. They were your idols, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Great players.
Bill Rice was my idol.
Let me tell you this, and people tell me all the time this. Of course, James Davis and a bunch of great players since, but they said, it's not fair. It is not fair. Y'all get all those children's home players. Y'all get all those players that are raised out in children's homes. And they probably said, they're rough. Yeah, they're rough.
I was scared of them.
And they were really regular guys.
Well, see, 12 years old, we got to work at past 10 cents an hour and we go to the hayfield. And you... international.
Wait a minute, how much money they pay you?
10 cents an hour.
Oh boy, that was good.
I thought y'all just worked for chores.
We had our regular chores and then we went to work.
I know, but
you'd go to the hayfield, the old international truck, somebody in there driving it had the grandma gear, double low.
Yeah.
You'd put that thing in double low and it'd just creep along like this, just ease along. First time I grabbed my bell hay and I ran up to the truck and I threw it up there and it rolled back off.
Oh, no.
Well, the truck left me. I grabbed my bell hay, about a 75-pound bale. Grab that thing by hell, grass with the seed in it.
Yeah.
It weighs 75 pounds.
And you had to
grab
drag
that
it
thing
in?
and ran the truck down again, threw it up, and it rolled back off again. I grabbed it, ran up there again, threw it up there, and old Johnny Harrell. He was a good basketball player and football player. Johnny grabbed that bell and threw it up on the truck and said, go around on the other side. You can get it up there. But every 12-year-old, we had to outdo the other one. We was running, laughing, and playing. We had to throw more bells on the truck than the 12 and 13-year-old. Then the bigger ones, they was in competition.
So you were close to everybody. Was it some of the boys you didn't like, or,
or
some of the older boys that might have treated you rougher?
No, we loved everybody.
Y'all loved it.
It was just
y'all
like
did what Jesus did. You wanted to love one another. Is that right?
Oh yeah, but if it took, I had one of them. Boy, he called me names, and I was pretty slow. You talking about me being the fullback or running back? I would have never been there because they'd have caught me at the line, slow as I was. But anyway, I couldn't catch this old boy, so I told him. I said I was about 8 or 9 then, probably 9 or 10. But anyway, I told him. I said I got me a rock about that big. I said if you call me one more name, I'm gonna knock you in the head with this rock.
Oh God!
So he ran off out there. And I threw at his head and I hit him on his elbow. And took about 10 stitches.
Oh no!
And
did you get a whipping?
Yeah, but Mr. Cox says, Mr. Cox whipped me. Mr. Beauty Mae Johnson got me and then sent me to Mr. Cox.
So you got whipped by 2 people.
Yeah, and Mr. Cox said, Raymond, why in the world did you hit him on his elbow? I said, I was aiming for his head, Mr. Cox, and I got him on the elbow. But we were buddies the next week.
Y'all were buddies?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, you've known some good things, and there was some sad things that happened, but one thing that I'll always remember, that blue and white bus would pull up in front of the First Baptist Church.
Yeah.
And when everybody, of course, y'all walked the church
we
and so
ran
forth.
The church.
But y'all sat on one section of the church, and everybody knew that's where the Baptist home kids were going to sit. And Dr. Hammerman used to have to correct y'all and get on to you during the service. I remember that.
Yeah, we there was 200 seats over there. Everybody was sitting there.
Yeah, that's
Every
right.
child at the Baptist home was sitting right there on them. We took up a whole section.
Did y'all have Sunday go to meeting clothes? Did y'all have?
Oh, man,
they make y'all wear your best clothes?
The sponsors. My first job when I was 8 was ironing the Sunday pants.
You mean you ironed pants?
I mopped and waxed the hall there.
Yeah.
And a living room in iron pants. I ironed the Sunday pants.
So, did you really? Here's your pants. Hey, y'all, here's your pants.
I got a question. The Alabama Baptist Children's Home. It was the Baptist Children's Home for the whole state of Alabama.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now,
there was other locations, wasn't there?
I don't know.
No, it started in Evergreen, and then Dr. Colley, that's how Dr. Colley got here. Dr. Colley Sr.
To Troy.
He was the head person over the.
But my point is that I think the Methodists and other denominations also have orphans. But I think wouldn't the Baptists, being the largest denomination in Alabama, have the largest children's home?
Oh yeah, no question.
So no other town in Alabama had a children's home like
Selma
that.
had one.
Selma had
a Methodist. Yeah.
Pale had 3 sisters and 3 brothers up there.
Oh really? Okay. Yeah. Did he ever get to go see them?
Oh, when we moved uptown, we'd go see them on the weekend. Pale had a car and we'd go see them.
And of course you were it's tough of an environment that you were raised in. You were raised in a Christian environment.
Oh yeah.
And y'all had Bible study every Wednesday, and but see, this was all fun, ladies and gentlemen. They said, why is he so anxious to go to Bible study? Well, it's sit by a pretty girl.
Yeah,
you had to race to a spot where you could sit next to Pat Aldridge or Newman girl.
We could walk
whatever.
them to church, on just say Vacation Bible School. You walked them to church.
And then there was a girl. Listen to this, Rice. It was just gorgeous. She was gorgeous. She lived in one of those houses away from the boys, and she would walk toward the Wednesday night services. And her name was Mildred Nelson. And she was, listen to this, Rice, she was made of cotton.
That's right.
Back then, the maid of cotton was a big to-do. And she came from the Baptist Children's Home. Mildred Nelson was a gorgeous, looked like Jane Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Solid black hair. Yeah. And I remember my brother let me, they used to have school plays all the time. And my brother took me to it, and she was a star of the theater.
Yeah.
And I said, I've never seen a prettier girl in my life.
Mildred had a sister, Pearl.
Yeah.
She was just as pretty as Mildred.
And how about this? I went home to eat. Always had a good Sunday dinner, but we cut up all the chicken. You know what a back is, don't you?
What?
A back on the chicken or neck.
Oh yeah.
Or the gizzard. You knew. See, Rice, look it over here. What is a back? And what is a neck?
I want the breast.
Listen, my mama cut off every piece of chicken. Yeah, the breast. Let me look at your hands. I don't see any scars. I got scars all over my hand where I reach for that breast, and I
stick your head.
That's what I always wondered with y'all, Raymond. Didn't everybody try to get the breast or the wing or the thigh?
I like them thighs and
pulley bones.
No, I didn't like the white meat.
You like the dark meat? Okay.
Yeah, I like the wings, the thighs, the back.
Well, you could have had mine. I was always a white meat guy.
I'd have gave you that white meat. I went to the chicken shack last night, ate a fried chicken, and I left 2 strips of breast, about that much. I didn't eat that white meat.
You went all the way over to Luverne to the chicken shack just to eat supper?
Yeah, we did.
Just you and your wife, or did you go with somebody?
Miss Donna Horn and Cherry.
Yeah. They're some of your best friends.
Oh, yeah.
I bet y'all solved some of the world's problems while y'all were eating.
Let me just say how wonderful is Donna Horn? She does.
She's
done
the
a lot
sweetest
for our
lady you
community.
ever say. Yes, sir.
Of course, she owns Horn Beverage, and they give a lot to a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
But of course, raised at the home. These are lifelong friends, and y'all been meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all meet twice a year. Is that right?
We missed our spring fling this year. Was first time on account of the virus, and but every year we'd go to Montgomery at Pete Peterson Park, and we'd call it the spring fling.
Exactly. Yeah.
No country boy, the spring fling.
Yeah. Raymond, I call you the godfather, and of course, when somebody does, die, and that you grew up with, and everybody seems like they always end up at your house and so forth. And of course, you've had some personal hardships yourself, but your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, by being raised at that Baptist Children's Home, and seeing people like Hobson Shirey and being around those kind of people, it meant a lot in your life, didn't it?
Mr. Cox and Mr. Shire.
Even though they would wear your fanny out, though they would, they'd whip you like you don't even know. Mr. Blanton is one of the guys that used to wear your
Big Ed Blanton, But I tell folks all the time, they closed this one in 2002, and I tell them, I said, all you got to do, times get hard, and they might do it now. President Trump talks about, turn this, just like the Baptist home, turn it over to the churches.
That's
the government shouldn't be doing that. They got them in foster homes.
Yeah.
It's good. But, your Baptists, and Methodists, all your churches, they had Catholic schools and all. They donate their money.
We were raised in God we trust, and we were raised, and of course you were raised that way. And let me tell you this, and I know I'm talking, I get excited talking to Ray because I remember so many of the things that he went through. But y'all develop a oneness, and to my knowledge, I don't know of ever hearing about a guy that lived out in the home, got put in jail or went the wrong way. In most cases, they gained that faith in God, and it helped them go through life.
Most of them did. But like I was saying, they closed it in 2000. The government says you can't take a child 50 miles from his environment. I came 170 miles.
That's right, yeah.
We had folks from Huntsville, Mobile, 200 miles, And if it hadn't been for that, a lot of folks wouldn't have got to come. But Trump says, turn it over to the churches, the government get out of it. And just like Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, we had a dairy. We was milking 35 cows a day, twice a day.
So y'all feed yourselves pretty much, weren't you?
We had a chicken house. We had a broiler house, just like the farmer had.
After you raise that chicken.
I don't know if you could get to the kids today, though, to do that kind of stuff. I mean, you can't even get kids outside to play in the yard. I mean, all this technology and stuff like that. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what would happen.
Did y'all always have television?
We didn't have a television. We had the radio back
Is that what y'all did? Y'all listen to the radio and listen to Wallace Hogan?
We got to watch TV, and we rather play softball. And we'd go in there, watch it a little bit at night. But
you didn't know what real shoes were for a long time. You went barefooted even to church, didn't you?
Oh, well, we ran to church
barefooted. Did they let you go barefooted to the church?
Now, I think pretty well they'd make you wear your shoes to church. But school, when after it got cold in November, December, they'd say, you got to wear them shoes. Y'all don't stomp them toes enough.
Raymond, I'm gonna bring tears to Raymond. You know, Raymond's just like me. Hey, he's sentimental as he can be, and I'm the same way. But you know, that bridge right there in downtown, the bridge right there on Elm Street, you come up, you spent many nights saying, should I get on there and see if I can walk across that bridge? Have you ever seen anybody do it?
I did.
That bridge was a focal point.
They was a bunch of them boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, they would walk across the bridge.
Adrian Beard, he was 12 years old. He died he had surgery and died. He caught pneumonia and died. But
and he was living in the home.
I'd tell him when he was in the Scott cottage with us, and we'd slip out at night, and every one of us, we had our shorts on. We'd run to Elm Street across the lawn there, and then
but it took a lot of guts to walk that railing there.
Oh, Adrian could run it. He'd walk it back.
Did you ever spit off that bridge?
Oh, we did that.
Trying to hit that track.
Yeah, but Adrian could run. He could outrun us backwards to Elm Street.
Hey, listen to this now. Listen to this, Raymond. I went home from church one day, and my mama had fried chicken and mashed potatoes and peas and corn and always those cornbread muffins. But there was a girl there, and I said, "Oh gosh, how beautiful!" Red hair, and I said, "Oh gosh, how beautiful!" It was Viola Beard.
Oh, yeah.
My older brother Bill, had a date with Viola Beard.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you knew who the prettiest girls in town were.
Yeah.
And she was one of them.
No, I told him I'd walk by the marquee up at the Pike Theater. Jane Russell,
exactly.
Marilyn Monroe. I said, shoot, we got them girls at the home was just as pretty as them movie stars.
They sure were.
They were beautiful.
And you had one guy,
Vicky Viola Blanche Beard.
And I'll tell you something else that everybody sort of looked up to, because Bert Martin, he married Dr. Stewart's daughter. And he came from the children's home.
Yeah.
Hey, love, did that matter? You fall in love. Hey, that young man from the children's home was as good as anybody else.
Yeah. But those, we had the movie stars right there. We looked at them every day.
And even there weren't as many kids living at the home when I came along, so it kind of gradually went down. But
well, that's when they came in with the rule. That's why they had to close. There was 9 people at the home when they closed.
I don't want to make you cry, Rice, but one of your heroes was Big Bill Rice, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, he was.
Big Bill Rice.
We watched him playing Troy High School.
Hit and knocked down by Bill Rice at the Auburn 14-yard line, and the Crimson Tide will take over on downs as Coach Paul Bryant lifts the youngster from Troy off the ground as Rice was Johnny on the spot for the Crimson Tide.
Barry Bryant probably said it, but Coach Queen said if you could make Bill Rice mad, he'd be dangerous. He'd kill everybody on the field. He'd run over. But you talking about, he was 6'6".
Yeah.
200.
It played fullback.
Oh, yeah. I saw him run right up the middle. He'd take off, and he could run a touchdown.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, everywhere you went, if you went out of town on a football game, Rice, that blue and white truck would be there, that bus would be there, and they got to go to all the games.
The girls,
a lot of the games.
My dad's told a lot of football stories, but he's never told one more than Columbus Patton.
That's right. You were there and I was there. You remember that?
But I've always you say it was a goose. I always heard it was a duck.
It's a duck.
It was a goose. Raymond, you don't grab a duck out of there like that. But
that's what makes it even more amazing.
It was a duck.
Right. You should know it, but
you know what? Columbus carried him to the sideline.
I saw that.
I said, I'm going to dress that duck when we get home. and we're going to eat him for breakfast.
Well, see, this was a big bird that was lighting out on the field.
Duck's a big bird.
I know it, but not as big as a big old goose.
I think it was a duck. I've heard too many people say it was a duck.
All right, okay.
Green-head mallard.
But what he did, ladies and gentlemen, was there was this mallard duck.
It kept flying over the players.
It was real foggy. It was rainy, and Pete Farron invited me Mr. Curtis invited me to go to the game with him, and I was just in the 5th grade, and I was tickled pink to do it. And ladies and gentlemen, this bird kept flying around the stadium, and he would land back here, and the huddle would be up here, and he would fly over the huddle, and in a minute he flew over the huddle, and Columbus Patman, about 220-pound guy, jumps out of the huddle, reaches up out of the air. Now people say, no, wait. That's why I say it wasn't a duck.
Yeah.
He reached out of the air and pulled that bird down and ran it over to the Troy sidelines. And then this highway patrolman or somebody came and got it.
But hey, that duck, when he got to the sideline, his neck was wrong.
Oh, what?
Yes, sir. Columbus killed him on the way.
The
game warden got him, but he was dead.
But Columbus had already killed him.
Yeah, he wrung his neck. I knew. I said, we'll eat that duck for breakfast. See, I'd have dressed him. Me and Columbus would have
I wonder if
dressed
there's any Greenville folks here that remember it, but I remember it so well.
Oh,
really
yeah.
do.
That story needs to be told in Sports Illustrated or something.
It should be. But he got that
and
duck.
And Columbus Patman was as good as any football player.
He wasn't going to fly off so Columbus killed him because we were going to eat him for breakfast.
Yeah. Mike, how's everything down in Grayton Beach this morning?
It's good. It's beautiful weather down here. Starting to slow down a little bit. I mean, there's still plenty of families from Tennessee and Texas and Mississippi and Kentucky, but it's really pretty. I was out on the beach yesterday, and the water's starting to clear up a little bit. I was looking yesterday. The Big 12 finally announced they're going to play 9 conference games and 1 out-of-conference game. So, that's kind of the same situation Troy's in with the Sun Belt. There's only 10 teams in the league. So Troy might have to do the same thing, play 9 conference games, 1 out-of-conference games. So now all Power 5 conferences have decided what they're going to do. So now I would expect you'll hear something out of the Sun Belt today, Conference USA, the MAC, American Athletic Conference, Mountain West.
Mike, I haven't talked to the AD at Troy yet, but I would think that, they want to play 12. They're going to have to play a couple of 1AAs. What do you think?
Well, they could maybe try to play UNA, or maybe try to play Florida A&M or Sanford or somebody like that. Yeah,
that would be great.
I could see that happening. Can't play the SWAC because Alabama State, Alabama A&M are not playing.
Yeah.
Could play Jacksonville State, I guess, if you wanted to.
Wouldn't that be something?
Whoop, Jack.
Whoop, Jack. I've never hated anybody in my life, team in my life, like I did Jacksonville State, and I still feel that way a little bit about it.
I do too.
Yeah. But
they're saying the bowls now, the way they're going to do the bowl games, it might be your record in conference is how they determine that. It's not going to be based on wins.
Oh, it's not.
So that could be interesting as well. I mean, you could see Troy, go, I guess 5-4 in conference and still get into a bowl game.
Yeah. Of course, you can go on your computer and ask for the Sun Belt Conference schedule, and it'll show the games. It'll show everybody's schedule, and it'll show the ones that were canceled because they were in the SEC or the ACC where you had to play in conference. But Troy's got a shot, and I hope, and I know Brent. I like Brent Jones, and he's gonna make it happen. But Troy's got some opportunities there. The thing that I want worse than anything, Mike, that would really put icing on the cake would be to play 6 games at home. I don't care if one of those games or 2 of those games or 1AA is to play at home and get that revenue. Don't you agree?
Well, there's really no revenue to make. I mean, there's not going to be any fans.
Tennessee and
well, I don't think it's going to be like that for the whole year, Mike. I believe it about halfway through.
Cases are down. I will say, I don't know if Rice, you looked at it yesterday, but we were at 70,000 cases about 10 days ago, and now we're at 48,000 cases. So it's starting to come down. Thank goodness. So hopefully by next week we'll be back around 30,000 cases a day.
We lost the Tennessee game and North Carolina State. They were coming to Troy.
Exactly right. Yeah. Now let me talk about this, Mike. Raymond, boy, business-wise, this pandemic really did affect your business.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Why were they so strict about people at the barbershop?
Well, just
tell us what you had to do.
We just closed up. We shut up. Shut us down.
And you went fishing, and you fished every day, did you?
3 weeks.
Hey, I got a 3-week vacation. You loved it, did you?
Oh yeah, but hey,
you got a check too, did you? You got a check too.
We got this 6. They let us self-employed.
Yeah.
Sign up for unemployment.
Did it work out?
The government paid $443, and the state paid $200. $643 a week.
Well, that was good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I made sure the state troopers and the National Guard folks, you got to keep your chief of police around the bar. I had to cut his hair. It's just. They said I wasn't essential, but I really was.
Rice, I was riding down the road. On Elm Street, and I looked back behind this house, and there was somebody that had a chair, and I don't know if he's cutting somebody's throat or cutting somebody's hair or not, but you cut some hair at home, didn't you?
I did. But I told him, I said, there wasn't no disrespect to the governor because she was getting her hair cut. Somebody was cutting her hair, so.
Well, that's
Rice,
right.
we thought Rice.
What do they call her, Meemaw?
I wore a hat for 3 months. I should have come. I didn't know.
Yeah, you could have called me. I had my phone number.
But did they?
I tell you what, I wish we had that down here at the beach. We don't have anything like that. I had to wear a mask, and she had to wear a mask when I got my hair cut.
Have you been pretty good about wearing a mask?
I wear my mask when I cut somebody's hair.
Still now, today, is that right?
Oh, yeah. Well, the governor told us to do it, so I said, I think all this stuff, everybody said, I hate them masks. I don't hate nothing. If you got to do it, do it.
That's right.
You might keep some old person from.
That's right.
Getting that virus.
How about the people that not you wearing a mask, but how about the people, your customers? Are they making them wearing a mask? Or are you making them wear a mask?
No, the customer, I say, I got my mask on. Lindsay's got hers on.
Yeah.
If y'all don't want to wear it, but I can cut around that. I'll move that little string around your ear. I can cut right around there.
These cowboy movies and these mafia movies where they go into the barbershop and they shoot up this guy and he's back there. They're giving him a shave. Do y'all still do that?
Yes, he does. I watched him do
it. With a razor blade?
We got the injectors. We got a persona blade. It's sharper than any razors ever been.
And y'all shave people like that?
Oh, yeah.
I thought y'all couldn't use those anymore.
Oh, these are injectors. We can use them. The persona blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the best thing about Raymond's. Raymond's will put, at the very end, they put the shaving cream on your neck and they would cut it with a straight razor.
Yeah, I got one.
You can't get that down here anymore.
Saturday, and I got the straight razor, the shaving cream. I watched Raymond, the before and after with his customer was amazing. He cut his hair and he had a big scraggly beard.
You don't shave Raymond?
He got that beard
off. I'm 77, but I'm pretty lucky.
I know I couldn't do that.
How much would it cost to cut this beard of mine, Raymond?
We just trim it. We charge you $5.
But what I'm saying that
put a number 2 guard on there. You look like you got about a 3 now.
When I was
a kid, put a number 2 guard in about 2 seconds. I'd have you trimmed up.
When I was a kid,
it doesn't take long to get it off.
I used to, you used to always get it for years there. The last thing they do would cut around your neck, and
a lot of folks
really made you feel good when they do that right there.
Yeah, a lot of folks don't think they had a haircut if you don't shave your neck.
Let me ask you this. One thing was really, they got that belt that they
razor strap.
Razor strap. Have you ever seen somebody make that thing sing? I mean, really make it sing.
Oh yeah, we had the old barbers do it.
Because that's those old barbers and what they were doing, they were sharpening the blade. Is that right?
I had to buy about 2 or 3 different straps because I'd be just popping along there just like Mike said, back and forth, and then I'd slip, and I'd cut that razor strap with that razor.
Raymond, have you ever cut anybody's ear and said, "Oh gosh, what am I going to do"?
Listen to this story now. Billy Atkins,
the football coach.
I was cutting the hair around his ears, and I cut a piece of his ear off. I'm talking about a fair spot of skin hair off of his ear, and it was hanging on by a little bit, and I just pulled it on off and put the blood stopper on it. He never flinched. I said,
did he ever say anything about it?
He didn't say a word. He didn't flinch. He didn't say nothing.
He would have grown me in there.
He was tough. I said, yeah, he might kill me.
Hey, I can see you right there. Hey, would you like a free shave?
Coach Atkins, he'd tell them boys, say, you got to run 50 miles. You know, that's what his punishment was. Old Ronnie Shelley and them, they might get in a little trouble, come in late for practice. He said, you got to run 50 miles. That's your job. They'd have to go.
Of course, this show is brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass. Have we got a call coming in?
Oh, let's see.
Max Howell's going to come.
Now, Max comes in on Wednesdays, or I don't believe he's going to.
This is Wednesday.
He could. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're having fun with Raymond. Of course, Raymond's Beauty Salon on South Brunny Street. And, of course, you know, I love to hear those stories of Big Jim folks.
Hey, Raymond, how's it work over the years? I know you really have helped a lot of families, of course, at, trying times, when people pass away. Is that just always people that were your clients over the years, or the funeral homes asked you to go and, I guess, get them ready for burial?
Yeah, I cut several.
Did that bother you?
I was cutting David Taylor from Goshen, Alabama. And I shaved his head, he wanted it skin tight, and so I let the hide be the guy and shaved his head. I leaned him back to let him, rinse his hair out. And he was laying there, and I saw some hair on his head. I got my clippers, and I cut the hair laying back in the sink. I just got the clippers, cut that hair off.
Now, this guy's dead now, is that right?
Who?
Is the guy you're talking about?
David Taylor. He's a roofing man at Goshen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
David and Michelle,
David,
Michelle.
Yeah.
I love them folks. John David Taylor and Abby.
Let's see who's calling in. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, Mike's Will Matthews.
Will Matthews, ladies and gentlemen, my attorney is calling in from Ozark this morning, and we got Raymond Ledford on here. Will he's been cutting hair in Troy at the same spot for 44 years, but overall 60 years. Do you have anybody in Ozark been cutting hair that long?
No, but I thought Raymond had quit. I thought he'd retired.
Oh no, that was Army Room number 1. Raymond has quit.
Now let me tell you something. He's the guy that used to cut Big Jim Folsom's hair. Did you know that, Will?
I bet he needed a coat box to stand on to do it.
I just about did.
Was he imposing? 6'8's pretty doggone tall.
Oh, he'd slide down in the chair. You could reach his head. He'd take a nap. Yeah. Big Jim would take a nap every time.
Now, some guys, you knew they were going to tell you some stories, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah, they'd tell stories. We'd tell them one if they'd say how many fish you caught. I said, just happened to have a picture.
Yeah,
since the phones came out.
Well, what's going on with you, Will? Is any news?
We got the PGA this week, Will. Who's going to the PGA?
Yeah, it's a PGA without fans. That's kind of weird, but, they're going to have it.
But, of course, I don't have any problem, especially watching it on TV.
I've gotten used to it.
I'm glad
if they cancel college football, I'm going to be watching a lot of golf. I'm enjoying it.
Of course, Raymond has his TV.
You got Justin Thomas right now, #1 player in the world again, the kid out of Alabama.
Yeah, we got
he's got to be a favorite. You got to think Koepka, the way he played last week, he's going to be up there. Tiger hadn't played hardly at all, but he's always a factor. They're playing out in San Francisco, so the weather's going to be a little chilly.
Yeah. I was going to ask Raymond this, Will. My good friend Johnny Coker died not too long ago, and he would drive all the way from Montgomery to Troy to get his hair cut.
As long as he could.
And he's a great guy. And you have a lot of people like that.
I told Johnny I'd go to Montgomery and cut his hair. He never did ask me to, but
I know you would.
I'd have drove to Montgomery. That wouldn't have been anything.
Do you go to the mortuaries and cut their hair sometimes, or what happened? Do people do that?
Oh yeah, we go out there. But I was telling you about David. I was cutting his hair, and he was leaning back, and he says, "This is new. This is something new. You've never done this before. Where'd you learn this?" I said, "The fella I was cutting on, he ain't moving near as much as you are." he didn't move at all. Yeah. But anyway, that crazy David, you know, I shaved his head one time and I put the sea breeze on him, and I saw him squinch his right eye. I said, David, don't let that stuff get in your eye to put your eye out. You crazy thing, you. It was already in his right eye, you know. So don't let it get in your eye to put your eye out.
I know, David.
He hollered, you know,
yeah.
but
boy, you've cut the hair of some characters through the years.
Oh, yeah.
Or you were pale.
But Raymond, it's amazing. How do your legs hold out, man?
Oh, I never have. I've been lucky. You know, the Lord will look after you. I reckon.
But very rarely do you ever
Raymond
see
the barber, he's got cut hair, so he gave me some good legs.
That's right.
I don't have any. I get a few corns on the bottom of my feet.
Yeah.
And I have to sand them off, but that's the only time I have any foot pain.
Now what are your hours now?
7 to 5:30.
What days a week?
We working half a day Saturday.
You still 12. Go in on Saturday then?
Half a day.
Yeah, I saw him Saturday.
What is your biggest day? Friday or Saturday?
Monday.
Monday's your biggest day?
Yeah. Hey, Mama, they tell the dad and the boys, they come down for breakfast Monday morning, she'll say, Daddy, boys, y'all ain't getting nothing around this house till y'all get that haircut. I told you Saturday to get it, y'all didn't do it. So you can't, you know.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna get it today.
Now, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever done anybody's nails?
No, I ain't no nail person. I just barely can cut my own.
Yeah.
Well, Raymond, you got your favorite sport back. You got baseball. You been watching any baseball?
We watched a little bit. We watching Fox News pretty regular. We see how
you got a big 70-inch TV up on the wall now.
No, I got that.
Modernized?
I got a black spot in the middle of my TV, and I watched the elk hunt one day about 30 minutes, and they called us elk up.
Yeah.
He got behind a tree, and I said, when he comes out behind that tree, they're going to shoot him. So, like I say, I got a black spot right in the middle of my TV. That elk stopped, came out behind the tree. Yeah. The fella shot, and I didn't see him fall.
Yeah.
He was behind that black spot.
Yeah. Raymond, of course, is a huge outdoorsman, and but you've been cutting the hair of these football coaches for years. Who is some of your favorites?
Oh, Coach Blakeney, he's the number one.
Well, he is
all
a great
of them
guy.
Are good, though.
Yeah. But old Blakeney, you're Blakeney, good-looking guy, you know.
Oh, yeah, he's sharp.
And you had to be particular with his hair, didn't you?
Oh, no, he'd tell you, cut that hair. I just cut him.
He'll call me back in place. Is that right?
You know, Coach Blakeney loves everybody. He's a people person. He'd call you cuz, and you know.
That's what made him so. Bud Casey was the same way, you know.
Yeah, Bud was a fine fellow.
Yeah, and you've known them all. Of course, how about Coach Bradshaw? Did you cut his hair?
Cut Charlie Bradshaw and cut his son's hair.
Yeah,
little Charlie.
Yeah, they were best friends.
But you know, we've had all them coaches.
You ever cut Bill Rice's hair?
I did. We cut
Big Bill.
Big Bill, yes, sir.
Those Rice boys have got pretty good hair.
Oh, yeah, he had a good head of hair.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know who's got better hair, the Rice boys or the Reeves boys. Those Reeves have got good hair. Grady and John and Jason.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this now. If Jason, if he continues to make speeches like he made the other day, hey, I could see him running for the big office one day.
Oh, yeah, Jason.
See, I know the governor, nobody would ever thought.
The other day at Troy University was one of the more impressive speeches I've ever heard.
I saw it on national TV. Some place stations picked it up.
Well, between the chancellor, who is probably as good a speaker as you'll find anywhere, but Jason has that smooth delivery. I mean, as smooth as you're going to get. And it's a political demeanor he's got, you know.
We taught him that at Skinner. He hunted with us when he was a young.
Yeah.
And
you had to know his daddy to know what a special person he is. And
Grady Reeves found
that family it was quite a family.
Hey, number one, yeah.
Of course,
Mr. Homer Reeves, he was fine.
Oh yeah.
You know, I saw Jason on some of the national news. This is when I was out. And then Sheila Faison Jackson was on the national news for about 2 seconds singing.
Yeah, exactly right. It was well done, and it was the first event of that 6 days. You know, this guy, they call him the boy from Troy. Well, let me tell you this: he went to Pike County High School. He lived out at Banks, Alabama. And of course, I think he came into Troy to buy groceries, and he probably would either delivered from Dr. Beard or Edge or some of those places,
But, it's whatever hospital was around in 1940. Was it Edge Hospital or Beard Hospital?
But I tell you what, in 6 days, I don't know if anybody's ever been received a going out as good as he did. Because he was highly respected and believed in what he was doing, and sacrificed quite a bit for his fellow man. And
So Raymond, what's your plans towards the future? How many years do you plan on cutting hair? You gonna do it the rest of your life?
I tell them, y'all need to stop getting these rumors about me quitting. I said, I'm going to cut 8 heads when I'm 102. Got to cut one for Pale, Junior Bird, well, about 20 or 30 probably. Yeah. All these famous folks, Earl Stentz from Brundage, Junior Bird, Bobby Griffin, just Mr. Cy Locklear, Pink Faircloth, all these folks, Robert Garrett.
Yeah.
From Brundage,
At one time, downtown.
Now, what happened to you? Why didn't you ever trust Raymond or Pell to cut your hair? You never went to them. You just didn't like them?
Oh, yeah, I went to him for a long time.
Mike's. Yeah,
he cut my hair. Pell never cut my hair, but Raymond cut it.
I cut it all the time.
See, Pell cut my hair for some reason. You would never let Raymond cut my hair.
He cut your first one when you was a baby.
And let me tell you what Pell always said, man, and I told him, I said, Pell, I've never seen that boy sit so straight and so erect as I've ever seen him. I said, what did you do? He must have scared you to death, Mike. He must have took that razor out and scared you to death.
No, he was always a nice guy.
But Michael would just sit there like a perfect angel, which he was not.
I've had little young'uns, you'd be cutting hair and they'd reach around your waist and hug you while you cut their hair. They love
let me
that
ask you a real
haircut.
personal question. Has anybody ever died in your chair?
No, nobody never has.
Nobody ever have a heart attack while you were shaving them?
We had one fella, he was in, I think he was in Pale's chair. He just threw blood up everywhere.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we thought we was going to lose him, but we didn't.
Why did you let Pale have the #1 chair? Because you were the boss?
Pale, he stayed with Junior Bird. I moved out, and me and Pale was supposed to be partners. He waited a year. Bird told us we couldn't make it out there. We couldn't pay the rent.
Yeah.
And I told Pale, I said, well, I'm going. I said, if we can't pay the rent after we worked for Bird 18 years, you worked 20-something years, we better get us another job. We better be a policeman, fireman, taxi driver, insurance salesman, anything. But, if we can't make a living right now, so I never thought about it.
Yeah. And, Let me ask you this. I've never asked you this before, and of course you're one of my dear friends, and they're going to be there for me once I croak. Like Coach Bryant says, if I quit coaching, I'll croak.
Yeah, he did.
He did, yeah. He did. But Raymond, it's just amazing.
Tell us how much it cost you to start this business. I mean, people will be.
I got in business for about $7,000.
$7,000.
And you've been in that location for 44 years. Yeah. That's a perfect location.
Yeah.
Why didn't y'all ever get in the wig business? What did y'all do with all that hair? Did y'all ever give it away?
I didn't have time for all that. You talking about for men or women?
I know, but I'm talking about all the hair you had to get rid of. What do you do with all of it?
Oh, we just put it around. It goes around the pea patch to keep the deer out.
I was going to ask you this question just a while ago. How many times over the years, and it's been 60 years, have you wanted to do something on a Saturday, but your clientele kept coming in to want a haircut, and you wanted to be at a ball game or fishing, and they kept coming in, and you couldn't leave. After one, you would cut one of them and say, "Well, I'll leave out this," and then another one. Did you ever run into those situations?
We've had them, but we just cut. You just say, "Well,
Even though they were waiting to have their hair cut.
You've seen the Bugs Bunny cartoon with the old mad scientist with the cleaver trying to get his Bugs' brain to go in the monster. He'd say, delays, nothing but delays. And the barber, it was automatic. I opened up the first Saturday. I said, Saturday's kind of slow at Birds. Slowed down a little. I may take Saturdays off. So I came to work and I brought my breakfast. put it back on the table, didn't eat my breakfast at the house. I bought my breakfast. I started at 7 o'clock. I locked the door at 7 o'clock. Didn't eat my breakfast, didn't eat dinner.
Didn't have time to do anything.
So I said, Saturday's a pretty good day. The next Saturday, started at 7, I ate my breakfast at the house. Didn't have time to eat dinner, didn't start at 7, stopped, quit cutting, locked my door at 7.
Yeah.
The third Saturday, same thing, I ate breakfast at the house. I started at 7, I cut till 7 at night. We cut 50 heads. Me and Pella cut 50 heads on Saturday.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
40 or 50.
Yeah. Now, did you ever have some folks that got a haircut every week?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when they come in again,
Mr. Ularm and
the lawyer,
Sherry Douglas and all them folks.
Yeah.
They get it every week. Mr. Sherry Douglas, Pop Bird cut his hair, and he'd push his head into the clipper. He'd say, cut it short, cut it short. Yeah. Had his little cigar in his mouth.
That was Bo Crosby's granddaddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, them was world famous folks.
Yeah.
I call them the old heads. I liked every one of them.
You know, Junior Bird was a special guy, and he had a great voice.
Oh, yeah.
He sang at a lot of weddings and all that. Did he ever sing in the barbershop?
Not much. He didn't. He could
have made that, but he could have made that place roll.
Bird could have sold his. He could sing when they ring those golden bells.
Yeah.
He sang as good as George Beverly Shea. I'm telling you, he was just as good.
Oh, he was great. The Junior Bird.
Bird was tough.
And of course, he was a legend. Was he a good man? Was he fair to y'all?
Bird was. One Thanksgiving, the first Thanksgiving I worked for him, I went deer hunt. Got down on, it was off Wednesday, so we went down there Wednesday, Thursday, was off Thursday. Well, I told Pell, I said, Friday, I ain't going back. I ain't killed a deer. I'm not going back. You tell Bird, I said Monday. So I took Friday and Saturday off. I came in Monday, walked in, Bird, I said, howdy, Bird. He didn't. He grunted. I went on back. I went on to my chair and I cut hair and I didn't say nothing. Next morning on Tuesday, I brought him a mess of deer steak. I cut him some deer steak.
You like that?
We had an old Coke box for our refrigerator. I said, Bird, I got you a mess of deer steak.
Yeah.
He laughed and said, I appreciate that, smiling, you know.
Yeah.
Next day, I told him, Bird, appreciate you not firing me.
You're exactly right. And of course, y'all were a group of people that everybody enjoyed.
Yeah.
And a lot of the problem is, right, after every football game, the place you wanted to go on Saturday morning, if you'd won, was to the barbershop.
Oh,
and
yeah.
a lot of people just hung around your barbershop.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Junior liked that or not. Because they'd be sitting there shooting the bull, and you'd have a guy that needed a haircut.
We didn't mind them.
But that was the truth, though, wasn't it?
Mr. N.M. Thomas,
yeah.
He came, and Clyde Pierce, they'd sit over there. Hap Sellers and Leon Sellers come every day.
Yeah,
Hap Sellers sat there a couple of hours.
Yeah. And then you go next door and get you a sandwich from Bird. You did.
Bird's all City Drugs.
Yeah,
You know,
City
City
Drugs
was down there, and Bird's. But,
McLeod's, you remember McLeod's?
Oh, yeah.
But all of them had a good hamburger.
So,
of course, I ordered a hamburger from Bird yesterday and enjoyed it.
Let me ask you this, Raymond. Do people get their hair cut less than they used to?
Oh, yeah. I had one. He said he came yesterday, said it's been 6 months. I didn't know where you was open or not.
Right.
But I tell y'all, if you want me to stay there, you better come on more than 6 months, because I might not can stay. I told you.
All the years you cut hair, who cut your hair? Did Pell cut your hair?
Pell cut it. No, Lindsay cuts it now.
What's left of it?
How cheap is a haircut now? I know I used to live in Birmingham and I'd cut.
We $10 on our regular haircut.
$10.
See, $10. I'd go get my haircut in Birmingham. You know, I lived in Birmingham for 17 years. I think it was $20.
Yeah,
my haircut, and I'd cut Raymond's, and it would still be like $10.
The beauty shops in Troy charging $20.
What was it when you started out at Bird's? You remember?
Started with Bird. I walked in the door on Saturday morning. We got out of school Wednesday, and Saturday morning I went to work with Bird.
How much was the haircut then?
I walked in the door and Bird says, yesterday, said Saturday, haircuts was 75 cents for a regular, $1 for a flat top. This morning, $1 for a regular and $1.25 for a flat top. He went up that day. So about 2 or 3 months later, you know, I got in there and got cutting a little bit and got a little cocky. I came in when we were sitting there, all 6 chairs was full.
Yeah.
Pop, Bird, and Pale, and Bert Martin, Junior, and Clovis Shiver on the front chair. But anyway.
Gerald Crow was there. Bebe Crow cut there for a while.
Yeah, Bebe came. But anyway, I told Bird that we were sitting there, everybody, you know, had the radio on or the TV, and I says, Bird, you know why you could go up the first day I came, don't you? I said, you went up on your haircuts first day I came. He said, yeah, I went up. Tell me why. I says, you got somebody in here who knew what he was doing. Boo, boo, all them barbers.
Yeah.
4 of them fired me.
Yeah, no question about it. but you know,
but y'all have to give him a share of the cut.
Oh yeah, we barbershops is 70-30. 30, the owner gets 30%. The barber gets 70%. You know, you're gonna let him live.
Did you ever get tips though? You didn't know you would get tips.
You got a lot of folks now. They give me 20.
Yeah, sure.
So you know, you're in a tight. They just say, well, you keep it today.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But
of course,
we always got tips.
Your place is still a gathering place, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now tell us about those canes that you make.
Yeah, I got one Alabama stick, and I pulled it out of the ground. It's a winter huckleberry. I pulled that thing out of the ground and to make the stick with, and when I pulled it out, I said, "That's my Alabama elephant." Turned it around, looked at it. The root that made the trunk, I left it about this long. It came out and curved around a small root. I cut 2 off. He kind of kicking his legs up. I said,
these are canes now, walking canes,
yeah.
Walking sticks and whatever. You got some that there's no price for it.
Oh yeah, right? You can't buy them. I put 20. I had the elephant carved, and it was just natural. You know, it looked like an elephant. An old boy out of Florida came up, and I said, "You the man I need to carve my Alabama elephant." He put a riding blanket on it, put the nostrils on the elephant's nose, and put his toenails on his feet.
Oh, God.
And then I hadn't put the ivory in, you know, his tusk in. Yeah. So, but he brought him back. I appreciated it.
Do you actually sell any of those?
I sell my collectors. They don't never sell because I price them too high.
Did you ever go to these
I ain't never had time
shows
to do
or
that.
anything like that? Yeah.
Barber ain't got enough time to go.
Yeah.
Shoot, we couldn't even go night fishing because you didn't have but one day, you know.
But now, something about you, y'all eat out almost every meal, don't you?
We eat a few out.
And especially supper, is that right?
Yeah, we eat supper out. Like, say, went to Chicken Shack last night.
Drove over to Luverne.
Yeah.
Now that was voted the best chicken in the state.
Yeah.
Now, what did you have?
You know, the best barbecue pork is out of a place out of Elba now. I read on AL.com the other day.
Have you ever eaten at that place in Elba?
We have.
I might have to try it. And there's a barbecue place in all.
I think.
But every time I go to the Chicken Shack, they come over and they say, "You wanna, what you want to eat?" I say, "Half a fried chicken."
Yeah.
And they say, "You want dark meat or white?" I say, "Half of, cut him right down the middle. Fried, half a fried chicken, breast, wing,
exactly,
thigh, and
do they cut it up for you?
Or it's cut up, yeah. But that's why I tell them I want that half a fried chicken.
Exactly. I know you really enjoy eating out. There's a new barbecue place in Ozark everybody's talking about too, and we're going to be talking about it pretty soon.
What's the longest in your life, Raymond, you ever took time off as far as a vacation or took time off as far as not cutting hair? Was it during the pandemic, during COVID?
The what now?
Is this probably the longest break you've ever had?
Oh, that was the only break we ever had. That's the only break. Cherry and I went to Monaco one time on, she got a trip with Pinkerton Insurance on, we went over out of Monte Carlo and then we went to the Cayman Islands one time, 10 days. But those two vacations, my vacation consists from Wednesday, we get off Wednesday, and we'd come back Monday morning.
Oh, so y'all off on Wednesday?
Yeah, back then. We not now.
Yeah, exactly.
When do you fish? Where are all these fish that somebody's caught? I mean, what?
We catch them. We go fishing. I had a day. I ain't even got a day right now, but I told him, I said, I may have to fish 2 or 3 nights to catch up, but I'll catch up.
Yeah. What do you like to do? You like to brim fish more? I think
I like everything.
You do like it more than
when I was 4 years old, I could catch a horny-head minnow out the branch up at Morris, Alabama, Gardendale, and Mount Olive. We had a branch over there.
When I was a kid.
And you go down there, and my brother'd been the straight pin, Charlie.
Yeah.
He'd been me a straight pin, tie sewing thread on it. Catch you one of them river canes, you know, the little cane in the woods. Tie that thing on the end. You'd pull them horny head minnows out. We'd catch a horny head minnow that long. We'd eat them.
What would be the most fun though? Catching big bull, brim, a shell cracker, a bluegill, or fishing for bass? Which would you like best?
Bass, all of it's the same.
Yeah.
I just soon to catch one of them.
When I say zip, you know what I'm talking about.
I'll tell them up at Dr. Collins, I say, I'll throw my 18-foot cane pole out like that with about 20 feet of line. You'd see that cork go, and my neighbor Sam Ellis.
To you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd see that cork go down to Sam Ellis, say, "Where's my cork?" He called it a cork.
Good.
But I set the hook on that bull brim, and I'd do like it.
Did you always have the little
in here,
pin?
Granddaddy. Come on in. And you hear
cork,
that line like this.
That's right. What I'm saying. It's sing to you.
It's singing. And bull brim at Dr. Collins was that big.
Oh, yeah. Really was.
That was something.
You could fillet those brim, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Raymond's been around outdoors as much as anybody, and of course, that's part of your life, cutting hair, and also you've been a great supporter of Troy University. And ladies and gentlemen,
I hate to interrupt you, but we got to tell about the drawdown.
That's right, yeah, dude.
We're selling tickets right now on the $10,000 drawdown.
Right. Which is going to be done outside, outdoors. It's going to be a lot of fun. And
15th of August.
It'll be right there in the stadium, and it should be just a lot of fun. Yeah. And as always, and it raises needed money more than ever. Yeah. They need money to operate.
Oh yeah, they need.
You two guys never sold a ticket to the drawdown, so you don't know what y'all doing.
Me and Raymond never have. So
Coach Amos, just he's number one. He'd sell 50 raffle tickets, $100 tickets, 50, and get 200 door prizes. I say, Coach, he's like, oh, I didn't do nothing. I say, Coach, you can turn more on your little finger than all the rest of the action club can turn on both, both hands.
But that was a lot of hard work.
He could turn more on one little finger than we could turn.
He's been doing it for 4 years.
200. He made them haul a cash rope on it.
Yeah.
He got so many they couldn't give them away.
But you know what? Everybody that went there won something, didn't they?
Yeah.
You remember how we said they would never come? They would never come. That we were wrong, weren't we?
You're right.
But we had a lot of fun.
One time I worked at, I can't imagine how much beer one of those things went through one night when I was working in the athletic department.
Well, again, though, it was all in good faith and people raising money for our football program.
Yeah.
And we watched it grow from a little bitty place to a big place, haven't we?
Change. Everybody was selling. We'd sell barbecue chicken, half a chicken.
Oh yeah,
he's trying.
No question about it. We've had a lot of fun. I don't know
about when Raymond used to grill hamburgers at Troy baseball games when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had at least 4 hamburgers one day.
I want you to hear this.
That's how good his hamburgers were.
Who was the most impressive man that you've ever known that came through these parts?
Johnny Long.
Johnny Long was a great one, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Made everybody feel like they were important, didn't he?
Was,
Did you cut his hair?
Oh, yeah. He was like Dr. McKinnon. Dr. McKinnon, the dentist, he'd say,
I loved him too.
Say, you the very best customer, you my best patient I got.
But Chase Riddle was fun too.
Chase Riddle. Oh, you can't name them all. If you started naming them, it'd take a week.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I'd love to hear
Chase,
Russell Gibson and Billy Gibson and those guys. And, Pie Brantley. All those great people. But, hope you've enjoyed our show. Now, we're laid back like nobody else. And, of course, we appreciate Premier, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks. They're dealing like you've never seen them deal before, going on right now on the bypass. So, remember, nobody beats a Premier deal. Raymond, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
I enjoyed it.
Now, you missed about 10 good haircuts, but I'll pay you back one day.
I got one Saturday for this
haircut. Raymond, we'll use this tape and we'll run it again because we love you. And, of course, everybody loves to hear from you.
Tell them we want to stay there, so come get your haircut. And we are open.
You're right. We are
5.5 days a week.
Yeah. Have a great day. You can see us again today, Raymond. You can see us again today at 1:30 on Facebook right here in Troy, Alabama. We appreciate you very much. See you tomorrow.